Forgive me the headlines presented by Hyundai. 3 games here to end it off. We'll start with the Steelers beating the Panthers, who controlled their own destiny. If they won out, they would have.
They're tough. They
won
run
it
the
all.
ball. They play defense.
I guess if they still win out, do they still win it all?
I think they do.
Right?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
So they lose this game, though. Your headline for this is?
I mean, you can't out Pittsburgh. Panthers.
What were they
can't do it.
thinking?
You can't do it. It's just that game is why I couldn't pick the Panthers, even though you felt like, hey, they got a little momentum. I just go, wait, we're gonna play run the ball and tough defense. Like that game's made for Pittsburgh. That's what they want to do. So it was a good win for them. The defense was awesome pretty much throughout the day. Run game was good. And Trubisky took care of the ball, unlike last week, and made some plays in the passing game. Just a good, well-rounded, tough, physical football game by the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I give them credit for the way they play week in and week out.
Yeah, it was uncharacteristic for the Panthers because they ran for 223 yards last week versus the Seahawks, just 21 rushing yards on 16 attempts this week. And the defense that we've been talking up for 2 years now, they allowed Pittsburgh to convert 12 of 15 third downs.
I mean, a 21-play drive at one point. They could not get off the field.
21 plays, nearly 12 minutes.
It was really pretty amazing. It's the one thing Pittsburgh got very good within the short passing game, run for 3, run for 2, short pass, run for 4. I mean, here's a speed sweep to give us a run for 8 or 10. They have their little formula for they know what their team is. And yeah, they just beat the Panthers in a style of football where they're like, hey, you guys are just learning how to play this way. We've been doing this for a long time. We're the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll show you how it's done. And that's kind of just how the game felt. And Carolina not being able to capitalize a few times when they were down there close, having to settle for field goals, not kick touchdowns inside the 5 and 10 yard line a few times. Pittsburgh's defense stingy. It's where last week I was a little surprised that Baltimore ran the ball on Pittsburgh. This is what I was expecting to see last week. But, yeah, good for Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh just doesn't die, and that's because of the leadership of Mike Tomlin and the toughness and energy he brings to that organization on a daily basis.
And a decent running day for Pittsburgh with Najee Harris, who
Yeah.
I think we've gotten to the point here where we might have to take a look at his stiff arm.
It's sick, right?
I feel like there's a fine line between like a stiff arm and like a punch to a dude's face.
I know.
I think we're kind of getting close to a
He
punch to a
really
guy.
loads up.
Like I'm kind of serious.
I
too.
hear you. It's different than the Derrick Henry where he's running at full speed. Like Najee stops, and is like, I'm
Loads
going to
up.
load up and get my feet and base in a good spot to where I can give you some real power. I know. Oddly enough, the guy he reminds me of that used to do this a little bit, was Brandon Marshall. The first time I threw a short route to Brandon Marshall, I was like, what's this guy doing? Because he turned around and he was like, I'm just going to bash whatever DB comes at me and just throw their head into the ground.
Yeah.
And he's amazing that way. He really is. He's physical. He's tough. And he really fits the mantra.
Yeah.
But here's a conversation just real quick, like off of this. Like, this is what's weird to me about the NFL draft, right? And just to hit on this because we're hitting on Najee Harris. Like, what's the difference between Brian Robinson and Najee Harris? This is where my whole thing. I know I was a little lower on Najee than most people, and I would think I was higher on Brian Robinson. But this is what kills me about the NFL draft. It's like Najee had all this hype out of Alabama, so he's a first-round pick. Brian Robinson didn't. He's got the same skill set and is maybe faster and better in the open field. He's just as big, but he's a third-round pick. I don't understand it sometimes. It's just interesting to me because I'm sitting there watching those games yesterday going, like, Brian Robinson's every bit as good as Najee Harris, but for some reason he was viewed as a third-rounder. And it's the hype of situations sometimes that drive me crazy. Sorry, that was just a little food for thought.
No, it's been a pretty good year for later-round draft picks, too, at the running back position with Isaiah Pacheco, too. Is that a great year?
Oh, no doubt about
the
it.
Chiefs.
Man, he's a sledgehammer.
So that was bad enough. We had to talk about one team in the NFC South. Now we got to talk about two teams in the NFC South. But we'll do it because we talk about every game. That's our promise to you, the homie. Saints defeat the Falcons 21-18, the final score. Your headline for this game is?
You ready, Iceman?
I'm ready.
I feel the need The need for Shaheed.
They needed him. Long touchdown.
Oh, he's a big play. All year long, he's been one of the big players for the New Orleans Saints. Like a pleasant surprise. A little, nice addition to Chris Olave and the group they got there in New Orleans. I think if you just had to, sum up the game, I mean, Andy Dalton, Taysom Hill, big plays in the pass game early, got them going, got the lead going. It seemed like they were in total control of the game. But in typical Falcons fashion, all of a sudden, third quarter, the run game started to just absolutely dominate. And every time I'm looking over there, I'm going, wait, there goes Algier for 10 yards. There goes Cordero for 7 yards. There goes Algier for 8 yards. And I'm going, they couldn't run the ball at all in the first half, it didn't seem like. And now they're just going up and down the field. And then Desmond Ridder got a little confidence and made a few plays. And all of a sudden you're going, holy crap, are they really going to go drive down the field here and kick a game-tying field goal? It just felt like New Orleans was in control of the football game. But Atlanta's, they don't ever die either. And got unfortunate. Desmond Ridder threw a nice ball to Drake London. London fumbled, and that kind of ended the game.
Yeah, it wasn't great for Desmond Ridder. His first start, the rookie, the third rounder out of Cincinnati. He was just 2 for 10 for 23 yards on passes, 10 or more yards downfield. Ended the game with just 97 total yards.
Yeah.
But, I mean, we've seen that from Atlanta all year, basically.
Yeah, definitely. It's, quarterback play hasn't been good. Tough situation. You got to go to New Orleans, play that defense. It does a lot of different stuff. Yeah, he missed some throws. He definitely looked a little, on edge in the pocket. Got unlucky. I mean, man, Alante Taylor dropped a 95-yard interception return that hit him in the chest. He dropped another one to start the third quarter where he didn't get his feet down. So, yeah, it was a little all over the place. And, the one aspect I forgot, too, the Saints were kind of controlling the game, and David Johnson fumbled as they were going in to score one time. That kind of gave Atlanta a second breath of fresh air that kind of kept them in the game and maybe halted the blowout there, for lack of a better way to say it.
And Drake London with the fumble at the end of the game that maybe could have set up, that completion could have set up a game-tying field goal, but who knows. But the Saints get the win there, 21-18 the final score. One more game to talk about. That is the Broncos beating the Cardinals 24-15. Your headline for this game is?
No Russ, no fuss. I mean, who needs a $45 million quarterback that we traded away our next 2 drafts for? No big deal.
A lot of people in Denver are asking that same question.
Yeah, well, this is where I feel bad for quarterbacks, right? It's almost like the Carson Wentz Washington conversation too. I mean, Russ must have been sitting there on the sideline going, I mean, we haven't today. We're gonna run the ball at will on this team. I don't play. Now the game's gonna become easy and we're gonna dominate the run game. He must have been over there what the. I would have had a big day today with play action pass and some of the stuff that Arizona was being aggressive at the line of scrimmage, trying to stop the run, and they were still gashing them. Ugly football game, and felt like it was over once Colt McCoy got hurt. You were just like, I don't think they're going to be able to hang in there. And
Trace McSorley wasn't going to bring him back?
No, I didn't feel like they were going to be able to orchestrate enough offense. It was tough already with Colt McCoy against that good Denver defense. And then once he went out, and that's a tough spot for McSorley to get thrown into. Hasn't played all year, and you got to play that defense in Denver. Not easy.
The Broncos have held 10 opponents this season to 19 points or fewer. Second most in the NFL, and they improved to 4-10. And that was Give Me the Headlines, presented by Hyundai.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.